Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to my YouTube channel and to the podcast. My name is Adele Skinner, and I'm your host. I am a life coach that focuses on feminine energy and inner work. So basically what that means is I help other women as they're going through the challenges that life naturally gives us to help them move forward with grace and with love and to show up as their own version of their dream woman. I love what I do. I've spent so much time working on myself and getting myself to where I want to be that it's one of those things, when you find something, when you start doing something and you experience something and you're just like, everybody needs to know this. Everybody needs to experience this. That is exactly how I feel. As I started disassociating with the old version of me, the version of me that felt like I had to earn my worth, the version of me that felt like I was hard to love, the version of me that felt like I was hard to provide for, that nobody wanted me, that I was easily replaced, that version of me that felt like I was just not worth anything. As I disassociated from her and as I stepped into my feminine energy and as I stepped into the knowledge that I am a very incredibly loved and important person in my heavenly parents' eyes. As I started to see that, I changed. There are parts of me that I don't even recognize, or I didn't recognize as I was shifting, as I was making that transition into this new version of me. It was really scary sometimes, and it was really hard, and it was really like, sometimes I felt like it was impossible. Like the old identity of myself kept pulling me down. But as I pushed through and as I found the people that I needed to help guide me forward, I was able to look back at the old version of me, and it's crazy. Like I will think or remember things that I went through or things that people said to me or experiences that I had, and I will be like, I cannot even believe that I allowed myself to be treated that way, or I cannot believe that I allowed myself to be put in those types of situations, because I don't even recognize that version of myself anymore. I am so much more connected to myself. I'm connected to my identity as a woman who knows her worth, and as someone who is so connected with herself and knows what she wants and what she deserves. I don't even recognize that old version of me. And I love that for myself so much, so much. As somebody who felt so worthless and so used and I was trying so hard to gain my worth, as somebody that had been there and now I'm here, it is the most incredible feeling. And so that is what I want to share and help other women with. I want them to know that there's a better way. I want them to know that their dream version of themselves is 100% available to them. That their dream life is available to them. Their dream home, their dream partner. Everything is available to you. We have so many limiting beliefs that keep us put in a box. Sometimes those limiting beliefs are from things that our parents said, things that our friends may have said, things that maybe our partner or other family members might have said to us, and then we turn it into a belief about ourselves. And I'm here today to tell you that those limiting beliefs do not have to run your life. You are 100% capable of being in control of your own reality. That being said, there is for sure some inner work and some lifestyle changes and definitely some mental work that needs to be done so you can step out of the old identity. So I was asked a little while ago, somebody asked me, how do you stay rooted in the faith that the person that you're wanting to become or the things that you're wanting to to manifest into your life, how do you stay rooted in the knowledge that that is available to you when, or even when you don't see any evidence that it's coming or that it's going to come or that it's possible? So that was a really interesting question when that was asked to me, because I had to reflect on what did I do when I felt like that. Because let's be real, I mean, you've lived in your current identity for probably many, many years. And so you're not just going to flip a switch and suddenly become a new person overnight. Like you can, there's definitely things that you can switch overnight. I'm not saying that's not possible. And I'm not saying that this takes years at all. Like this does not have to take very long, but you can't just think something and then automatically have a switch. It's one of those things that you have to, it's a continual process. So let me see if I can explain this a little bit better. So this would look like, say you have an idea in your mind and you're like, okay, I am no longer available to be called a certain name. Like I'm no longer available to let people talk to me that way. So if this is something that you're dealing with, if other people are calling you names, or if you are feeling like they're not treating you the way that you want to be treated, and you're telling yourself, all right, self, we're not available for that anymore. What you need to do is, one, decide, which you've already done, so great job with that. The next thing you need to do is you need to start working on your own thoughts, right? So honestly, I think we like to assign blame to other people, but the thoughts that we have in our mind, I think if you really were to look at them, you would be shocked at the negative thoughts that you think consistently. Like they are constantly running on a loop in your mind. So the first thing that I would recommend, if you're really wanting to do like a mind shift, as well as not allowing the negativity into your life anymore, the first thing that you will need to do is you need to not let yourself be available. You need to make sure that the thoughts in your mind are not having access to you in a negative way, if that makes sense. Let me see if I can re-explain that to be a little bit better. So manage your mind. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You are going to learn how to manage your mind. So what does this look like? Anytime a thought comes in, like, oh my gosh, that was so stupid. I can't believe I'm so stupid. I can't believe I made that stupid mistake. What the heck? That is the nastiest thing you could ever say to yourself. But you know what? We've all done it, right? We've all done it. But you need to catch those thoughts immediately, and then you need to apologize to yourself. So pretend that there's like, I like visualizations, right? So I have like two people in my mind. There's my mind that's talking, but instead of it talking to me, it's talking to like another person. So if you were to think the things that you're saying to yourself to someone else, how would they respond? What do you think that they would say? Would they be like, oh, yeah, thank you. I really appreciate your feedback. Or would they walk away being like, that person is a jerk and I never, ever want to collaborate or work with them on anything. They're mean and they're spiteful and they're nasty, right? So think about those thoughts that you're thinking, and if they would hurt someone else or if they would cause someone else to not want to associate with you, you have got to stop letting them associate with yourself. You've got to stop letting those thoughts come in. So the first thing that you need to do, if you're wanting to change your life and you're not seeing the proof yet, look at the thoughts that you're thinking. Look at the way that you're feeling. So one thing that I did, this was really, really helpful, is I journaled on it. As you guys know, if you've watched any of my videos, you know how much I love the concept of journaling. Journaling is super helpful because what it does is it helps get the thoughts that are in your head, it helps get them out on a piece of paper so that you can view them and look at them, and you can decide, Are these thoughts things that I want to keep? Or if you are journaling on things that you're wanting to change or things that you're wanting to now implement, again, you can journal on it. You can look at it and be like, do these things align with the person that I am becoming? And that's really helpful too, because you can say yes. Or you can look at it and be like, actually, this one, I need to change it. So it's a really good idea to get your thoughts out. So this is what I did, is I wrote down in my journal, I have it right here actually. I wrote down in my journal, and it's really embarrassing, honestly, how many pages I wrote. Okay, so here's my journal. I've gone through like 3 of these just with all my journaling in the last 10 months, 11 months. But anyways, so I wrote and I probably wrote, let's see, 4 pages front and back. I mean, these are kind of smaller pages, but still, it's a little bit embarrassing. 4 pages front and back of the beliefs that I had about myself. And honestly, they were not the most kind thoughts. And I thought I was doing pretty good. So I've been working really hard on my mental state and making sure that I'm managing my thoughts. And I just had a really strong impression that I needed to do some weeding in the garden of my mind. Basically, I needed to get rid of the thoughts that were in my mind. And so I wrote them down. And I wrote 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 so many down. And then I was able to look at them and I was like, honestly, I don't actually believe these things. They're just, it's like a habit. It was like a habit that just kept going through my mind that these were the thoughts. Or sometimes another thing that we will do is we will see proof based on the way that other people treat us, right? So if other people treat us poorly, or if other people are not kind to us, we'll be like, oh, it's proof. Like, I'm super hard to love. Or this is proof that if you had an opportunity to be with somebody else, you would rather be with someone else. This is proof that this is how it is. But honestly, that is their thing. That has nothing to do with you. The choices that other people make have nothing to do with you. We like to make it about us, but it really has nothing to do with us. And so I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote so many things down, and I was able to look at it and just have so much compassion for myself and say, oh, girl, I am so sorry that those are the thoughts that have been running through your head. I am so sorry that has been on constant replay. I'm so sorry. We are changing that right now. So what I did is the next page is I wrote down, all right, what are some intentional thoughts that I want to have about myself? What are some things that I want to actually think about the person that I am? And I want to see proof of these things. And so then I wrote, again, back and forth, or front and back, 4 pages of the person that I actually am. Like, actually am. Who am I, and what are some of the things? Like, I am so lovable. It is so easy to love me. I'm very, very easy to love, you guys. Everybody loves me. It's so easy. Or things like, I'm so fun to be around. I love learning. Learning is one of my favorite things. I love to read. I love to have adventures. I love to go different places. And so I just wrote all of these things about myself. And as I wrote them down and as I chose these intentional thoughts, I was able to see proof in my mind of that I am that person. And it was really fun because the proof that I saw was like, oh, when I was a kid, I loved to do this, or I would have experience with this, or I'm like, oh, my girls and we went and did this thing, and that was so fun. Like, I am really fun, and we do lots of really fun adventures. And so you start to see proof when you tell yourself that you're a certain way. Our minds are amazing. It automatically comes up with proof to validate your beliefs. So going back to, once you decide that you're no longer available to be treated in a certain way, you change the way you think about yourself. You change the way you're talking about yourself. You choose intentional thoughts to build yourself up. And then your mind gives you proof that, yes, You are this person. And when you become that person, you automatically, one, repel the people that treat you that way. And two, you no longer allow them to stick. You no longer allow those hurtful things to stick. So we don't get to control other people. Other people are going to make whatever choices they're going to make based on their life experiences. What we do get to control is whether or not we allow their energy or their intentions to come in and affect us. So somebody could call you a name and you could look at them and just basically shut yourself off from them and say, I'm not available for that. And it doesn't even come in. That, interestingly enough, that is your dark feminine energy. When you step into your divine feminine energy, when you step into the divine feminine being that you were created to be, which means you're connected to God. You recognize the value that you have as a woman. You recognize the value you have as a child of your heavenly parents. You no longer allow the nasty thoughts to circulate through your mind. Like, you become such a high value woman. And so you live in this joy of being this high value, incredible woman. And then when or if people try to attack you or try to bring your energy down, that's when your dark feminine energy comes in and you just shut yourself down. It's like shutting the doors. Say, I'm not available for that. I'm not available for that. You're welcome to say it, but I will walk away. I will remove myself from the situation. It does not affect who I am. I no longer allow that to touch me or to hurt me because I don't believe it. The only time that we can get our feelings hurt is if there is a part of us that believes that what someone is saying to us is true. So one of my first episodes, I think it was actually my second episode I talked about the red car concept. And then a couple episodes ago, my sister and I did an episode together, and she was talking about, like, if somebody was talking with her about your blue hair, right? So if you've seen that, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm going to quickly explain it. So if somebody comes up to you and they're like, you are the dumbest red car I've ever seen, it wouldn't compute. You'd be like, are you crazy? Are you okay? Do you need help? Like, what is wrong with you? Because you know you're not a red car, right? Or the example that my sister Larissa gave, if somebody came up and was like, you have the dumbest blue hair I've ever seen, you'd be like, are you colorblind? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, that, none of that would hurt your feelings because there's no truth to it. You know that there's no truth to it. So the same thing goes, like, it only hurts if you believe it. So do the journaling, get all of those negative thoughts out so that it no longer hurts you. And then you fill your mind and you fill your heart with so much love for yourself that if somebody else doesn't like you or doesn't love you or doesn't want you, that's their problem. That has nothing to do with you because you know that you are so high value. You know that you're an incredibly high value woman, that you are so valuable, they couldn't hold or be in the same space with you, so they had to leave. That is what it is. When you start raising your value, when you start, you're always valuable. When you start raising your vibrations, when you start telling yourself that you are worthy, when you start embodying that incredible version of you, the people that don't resonate with you, they cannot stand to be in your energetic sphere because you are so magnificent. They feel so small and they feel so ridiculous that they must remove themselves. Watch it happen. It's incredible. And instead of you taking it as, oh my gosh, this is something to do with me, no, this is their inability to stand in your magnificence. So going back to that first question that somebody asked me, how do you stay rooted in the knowledge that what you're manifesting, what you're wanting is coming to you even if you can't see proof? The way you do this is exactly what I've been explaining. You work on your mental thoughts on what you're telling yourself. You make sure that you are building yourself up so high, that you are loving yourself so much, and you are living in that juicy, beautiful, feminine energy of love and abundance, that the things that don't align with you don't hurt at all to not be with you. Like, it doesn't hurt. You can let go of those past things. And when you let go of those past things, it's like you automatically are opening up the doorway for the new things to come towards you. So you'll feel it. You will actually feel an energetic shift when you start to really expand. Like, you'll have moments, I've had these and it's really cool. You'll have moments where you just get really excited for this thing that you want. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have it. And then sometimes I almost have to be like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I actually don't have it, but I feel like I have it. And that's the key right there. It's not that you have to see proof. You don't have to see, or you don't have to have evidence that it's coming. All you have to do is you have to change what you believe, because your mind will automatically start to pull in evidence that you have it. So again, you don't have to create the proof. Your mind does that without you even trying. What you need to do is make sure that your mind is managed to a level that you feel so good, and you just know that the things that you're wanting are coming to you. So what limiting beliefs do you have? That, I don't know, that it's going to be too hard, or that you're going to lose somebody that you love, or that it will be lonely. Like, what are some of those limiting beliefs that you might have? Get them out. I'm a very visual learner, and so if this is helpful for you, envision, if you want to do some type of a like a meditation as you do this, you can close your eyes and you can just envision. Look at a overgrown garden plot, or garden, like a raised garden bed, like a nice big one, or small, whatever size you want. I think that my mind is nice and big, so I choose a big one. And it's super overgrown. There are thorny weeds in there. There's a little teeny tiny annoying weeds that you have to pick. There's like a million of them, and you got to get all of them. There's big bushes. Maybe there's some rocks in there. Like, it's just really overgrown. So envision this really overgrown garden. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to start weeding out these weeds. So you can envision yourself weeding them, or you can do what I did and you can write down all of those weeds, those limiting beliefs, write them all down and spend as much time as you need to. It's a little bit sad, honestly, how many limiting beliefs come up, but that's okay, because it's better to acknowledge them and see them and get rid of them than it is for you to just be embarrassed that you have that many limiting beliefs. Just know you're human. Welcome to the human race of limiting beliefs. It's okay. The best thing about stuff like that is it's completely controllable by you. Very few things are actually controlled by us. And your thoughts and what you believe is definitely something that you can control. So go in there, weed everything out. Get everything out that you can, completely purge it, and then you're going to see this empty flower garden. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go in, you're going to put the topsoil in, and you're going to mulch it, and you're going to get it all nice and ready for these new plants. And then you get to design your flower garden. Do you want trees? Do you want shrubs? Do you want flowers? Like, what type of flowers do you want? Do you want big ones, small ones? What do you want? So I like to visualize as I'm planting, or as I'm transplanting these plants, whether by seed or an actual plant, however you see it in your mind, each one represents a thought. So you get to choose the thoughts you have. What are some thoughts that you want to choose? I am lovable. I am kind. I am genuine. I'm authentic. I love that one. My biggest goal is to be so authentic that what you see is what you get in every single aspect of my life. I am the same here on YouTube as I am hanging around the kitchen table with my girls, as I am in the grocery store. Like, I want to show up so authentic. As I interact with all people, I want them to be like, oh, yep, we recognize her. That's Adele. That's what she's like. I want that to be how I am. I don't want to put on a mask and pretend to be somebody different depending on where it is I am. I want to be so authentic. So something like that was an intentional thought. And then once you have planted your garden and it's beautiful and it's glorious, you have all the flowers and it's just so fantastic, then what you do is you start showing up as that version. So if authenticity is really important to me, then I make sure that when I'm driving and somebody cuts me off, how do I want to show up? What version of me do I want to be? I want to be the version that is kind, that is generous, that is gentle. That's the version I want to be. Therefore, that's how I'm going to act. Or when I'm in the grocery store and I can't find something that I'm looking for, what kind of a person do I want to be? Do I want to be rude and obnoxious and irritated with the people around me? Or do I want to be kind and generous and gentle? That's the kind of person that I want to be. Or when I'm interacting with my children, or when I'm interacting with somebody next to me, all of those things. You show up the way that you have told your brain that you are. And then as you start to become that person, as you start to believe those things, you start to see evidence that these things are true, and that the things that you are wanting, the goals that you're working towards, the businesses that you want, the friendships that you want, the relationships that you want, you start to see proof that they're there and that they're coming. And you start to feel proof. I love that part. Even before they manifest physically, you start to feel different. Like your energy just feels really light and excited and joyful and prepared to accept it. So I hope that this has helped. I hope that this has given some practical ways to get out of your mind, to get rid of those old limiting beliefs so that you can transplant and put in new beliefs so that you can move yourself towards the dream version of you or the dream life that you want. Because you start to create proof unintentionally. Like, you don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is manage the thoughts that you're thinking. Manage the way that you're showing up and choose intentionally to show up as this person, as this version of you. How would the higher version of me act? And then the best part is you get to sit back in faith and trust that as you are elevating yourself, the things that will match your energetic vibration will naturally be called to you. Just like when you decide that you're no longer available to be treated a certain way, when you raise your vibrations, those people lose access to you and actually will fall away. It's very repulsive for them to be in your presence when you are vibrating at such a high frequency. And that's exactly how it is for those things that vibrate at the same frequency that you're at. So when you raise yourself to become a better person, when you raise yourself to expect and to see the beauty and the good things in the world that you're calling to yourself, they can't help but show up for you because you're a magnet. You magnetically pull it towards you because you're vibrating at the exact same frequency. So don't feel bad. Do not get discouraged if what you're manifesting and who you're trying to become isn't showing up for you yet. It's okay. What you need to do is you need to settle back into your intentional thoughts. And you need to see, is there something that I am choosing that is not in line with the person that I'm wanting to become? And if so, am I willing to let it go? Am I ready to let this go? You get to choose. I love that. I love that this is something that we get to control. You get to choose what you're calling in. And then you sit in faith and trust that as you are becoming that person, so are the things that are meant for you being called to you. You don't chase. Feminine energy never chases. We were never designed to chase. We were designed to attract and to bring things to us. But how we do that is by becoming the person that naturally will attract those things to us. If you want to work with me personally, if you want to be involved in my Facebook community, I have the links down below. My Facebook community is private, and so the only people that are on there are people that asked to join, people that are very safe. And so you can comment, you can ask any questions on there. I love it. I love when there's interactions, and I will post different things that I'm learning throughout the week in there, and I encourage other people to do the same. And also, if you're wanting to work with me personally, help you get through some mental blocks or help you to heal through some traumas, there's also a link down there for you to be able to connect with me and schedule an appointment. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. See you later.